everyone. Hi everyone, and welcome back to Dan's Studio, where we bring you the latest news in a short and informative format, and of course in the comfort of a studio. Now, as you can see, I'm still in my living room, which means we're still in lockdown. As you remember from the last episode, the city of Melbourne did officially go into lockdown. So in order to comply with the government's wishes, we have decided to isolate ourselves and work from home to help stop the spread of COVID-19. So, which is why we are still recording in my living room. Now, last time when we released the previous episode, the government's then wishes were to encourage people to obviously to stay inside their own houses to avoid going outside. However, they did make some special exemptions. They allowed for indoor and outdoor gatherings for up to 10 people. Up 10 people. However, over the weekend, that all came crashing down as the government then issued a stage 3 shutdown. This cuts all gathering limits to only 2 people. 2, 1, 2, 1, 1.
Earlier today, I noted that we are working and we'll be working again through the night this evening to pull together the next tranche in our economic supports that can go there to support Australians in jobs and to keep them in jobs and to keep them connected to the companies that will be there on the other side, so they can stand up again and ensure that Australia bounces back strongly so we can return to life as we knew it at some point in the future. Tonight, the National Cabinet met to consider a series of issues, and they related principally, firstly, to the issue of public gatherings. Now, you'll be aware of the arrangements that are already in place, that gatherings are currently restricted to 10 persons. Except for members of your household, and for the purposes of employment and education, which should also comply with the requirements for working and learning from home and social distancing principles. So up until now, that has been a restriction of 10 people in a gathering, in an outdoor area, or in a shopping centre or anything like this. The advice now is that, and I should stress that 10-person limit, that is enforceable now in most states and territories and can carry very significant on-the-spot fines. That advice has now been strengthened to say that it should be reduced to 2 persons in public spaces and other areas of gathering.
This really then tightens the wiggle room that people have to actually leave their own homes. Now, this applies to both indoor and outdoor gatherings, as well as and especially to private properties. So now you can only have 1 friend over at a time. Well, looks like I'm going to be having to make some cuts on my friendship group. Wait, this just in. This has been an urgent update news that has just come in. Unfortunately, you're not even now allowed to accept people coming into your house. The only kind of situation you're allowed to have someone into your house is if they're coming to take care of you, or if they physically already reside in your private property. So technically, you're not even allowed to have that 1 friend over. You just can't have anyone in. It's just meant to be you. Wow. Now, this actually begs the question as to what we are actually allowed to leave our house for. Well, you're actually allowed to go out and shop for what you need. This includes and is not limited to your groceries, but also your daily need.
This is the public health advice. You must stay at home except for the following reasons. A, shopping for what you need. Food and other essential supplies that enable you to remain at home and to do that shopping as infrequently as possible. B, for medical care or compassionate needs. C, to exercise in compliance with the public gathering rules that I've already outlined. And D, for work and education if you cannot work or learn remotely.
Now, Prime Minister Scott Morrison even used this as an example. So let's say, for example, your wife wants to go out and buy your kids a bunch of jigsaw puzzles. But this is okay because this is considered an essential. Because this is going to completely change the way you're going to live for the next 6 months. So I'm still allowed to go out and buy my video games, buy my jigsaw puzzles, buy whatever you think is considered to be an essential for this next couple of months that you're going to be staying indoors. If only I could buy a friend. And don't worry, you're also allowed to leave the house to gather medical supplies medical care and compassionate needs. So you're also allowed to go outside and exercise. So which is good, you know. You can also travel to work and education if it's impossible for you to do these tasks remotely. So that's not too bad. You're actually still able to go outside and get some fresh air and exercise, which is important because in this day and age, everyone's cooped up inside. Is it important to get some fresh air and do exercise on a daily, basis in order to build up your immune system? That way, it makes it, harder for you to contract the virus. Some of you out there may also be wondering, hey Dan, I live in a house with other roommates and it exceeds the limit of 2 people. Will we have to kick out a roommate? Kick someone out? Unfortunately, yes. No, just kidding. It's fine. You don't have to kick out the roommate that you don't like. It's fine. You can totally keep him there. Prime Minister Scott Morrison did stress that the 2-person limit does not apply to people within your household. So you don't have to kick out a roommate. Let me say that again. You don't have to kick out a roommate. And you definitely don't have to kick out that annoying little sibling that you have, that you desperately want to, that just keeps bugging you in the corner. Constantly going, hey, big brother, I want to do this. Can we not do this? Put up with it for a little while. It's totally fine. You'll get away from him eventually. Don't worry. Now, as I said on all the other episodes, I do want to point out again that the coronavirus is a really, really serious issue. We should be taking into account what the government is telling us and complying with the new set of rules. I believe that the stage 3 lockdown is vital for us to tackle this obstacle at the moment, and it is important for us to stay indoors and avoid going outside and continue practicing social distancing as the rate of people being diagnosed is constantly going up. Now be sure to avoid crowded areas and always maintain a good level of hygiene. Remember to wash your hands and wear face masks when you need to. Despite of the current situation, we here at Dance Studio want to continue providing you guys with good quality content throughout this really tough period of time. We want to keep things lighthearted as well as provide everyone with the information that they need, as well as, keeping a bit of humor and playfulness here, because we all know some people can get a little bit down in this situation. So we want to keep everyone as lighthearted and as, happy as they can be, because happiness is very important, So it's important to, get some sun, get some fresh air, keep your spirit up, because you don't want to be down at these times. You should look towards the positive of each situation. That's just a little PSA for me. I do wish everyone happy self-isolation, because it's good. It's a good time to really get to know yourself and explore new things that you want to. You can start making YouTube videos if you want to. You can start creating music if that's been a long time hobby that you've been wanting to explore. Start doing art. There's a lot of, this time gives us a lot of personal time in order for us to really explore ourselves and find what we personally are capable of doing. So thank you for tuning into today's episode of Dance Studio. Please forget to subscribe, punch that like button, and don't forget to share our work. So stay tuned for the next episode. I'm your host, Dan. See you guys next time.